right at the center of your chest. This relaxes your body even. Continue this process gently for a few minutes. Now take a deep breath in and deep breath out, and gently bring your attention back to the room. And whenever you are ready, you can open your eyes.
So that was a good start to focus our energies into ourselves and our thoughts into this whole feeling that we are talking about our mental health and uplifting ourselves. So this is good way to start and concentrate on energy over there.
I'm sure it must have relaxed you. And it would be
Yes.
lovely to get a reply from our audience also that how did they feel. They can just, it's going to be great to know.
Yeah.
So coming back to you were asking me, what do I do? And what is the role of a life coach? So I would really like to tell you that I work to improve the life quality of my clients, both on professional and personal front, through my workshops and sessions. These workshops give participants the tools and techniques to harness their inner power, achieve their dreams, and open them to the totality of possibilities. As a life coaching is an action-based and a solution-oriented program, I believe in bringing transformational changes in people's life by empowering them with the skills to release limiting thoughts and mindsets, eliminating the blame game and taking the ownership of their action. And that is what is required in this world. You know, we are so much in the blame game and we never take ownership of our actions. So that is what this all work helps, and it helps you to remove all your mental obstacles that deter you from completing or achieving your life goals. It helps you to be your best version.
Yeah,
So
that I
that is.
Yeah, exactly. That is what intrigued us to have a session with you for this. And coming to the current scenario, where uncertainty is so prevalent, we don't know what our next day is gonna be like. We don't know how. We are not back to our normal routines. It's so much. It fills you with so much anxiety and fears. So, how do you protect your mental health? I mean, to begin with, how do you protect your mental health?
So you are right, Mahima. In this time, it's been very challenging for all of us to keep sanity with ourselves. So we really need to take charge of how we are thinking, feeling, and behaving. So I call thinking diet. We are watching the news all the time, and this is programming our mind to fall into fear. Whatever we are watching, reading, and listening is actually affecting us in a big way. So we really need to be mindful that what kind of information I'm putting in my mind. So it is really important to be
Yes.
doing that and taking a charge. So today I would really be very happy to share a few techniques and practices which can really help you. And I will really take you there where you will realize that this is what I've been doing in my daily routine and that is how it is impacting me. These
Okay,
activities
so
are going to, yeah,
yeah, sorry.
sorry,
So
yeah,
no,
come, carry on.
So I was saying, so there is so much of information that goes in our head, consciously or unconsciously, starting from the phone, which gives us so many plenty of information from YouTube's to social media and everything. So I'll ask you, as a, you're a spiritual healer also. So how do you start your day with? Like, what is the first thing that we should do in the morning to take care of our mental health?
Yes, so very important it is, Mahima, that whatever we are doing in the first 5 to 10 minutes of getting up is regulating a day. So if in the morning, the first thing, even when we are sleeping, our hand is getting on the phone and the news or the message we are reading, it creates a thought in us. And that dominant thought is carried out throughout the day. So it is very important to take a self-reflection of how we are getting up every morning. Are we dreading to get up? Or we are getting up, oh my God, another day. Or, we are just overwhelmed with the task we need to complete.
Yeah.
What is the first thing we do that really navigates a day? Our feelings are magnets which attract corresponding events into our life. So I really get up every morning. The first thing I do is to be thankful for the wonderful day that I'm alive and my family is alive. And I spend few minutes meditating and speaking the power statements, my affirmations for the day, and setting an intention of how I would like to be my day, how I want my day to be, and what are the goals I need to achieve. Those 10 to 15 minutes are really dedicated to my day, and it really, really helps me. So I start my day with saying statements like, oh, I'm looking forward for the wonderful day. Today, the energy of joy guides me. All my work is done with ease and grace. And I am safe. The most important thing we need to tell our mind in today's time is that I am safe, because whatever anxiousness and fear you are triggered by is telling your inner conscious that you are not safe. That is the real cause of fear, depression, panic attacks. So very important to give your mind that statements which can relax it. But whenever we are watching news, we are feeding in the statements which are, my mind is programming more of fear rather
Yeah.
than programming more of calmness. So when we talk to our mind, these statements, our mind feels very, very, very relaxed. And as I said, our feelings are magnet and it corresponds to the events in our lives. I would really like to give an example of a YouTube. Just like YouTube has its own algorithm and shows us more of what we are interested in, the entire universe also works on an algorithm that shows us more of what we are thinking, feeling, and behaving. So
Okay.
when we start a day by being grateful, counting our blessings, and we are in the space of thankfulness for a new day, in that energy, anxiety, fear, ego, and irritation does not exist. It cannot exist. Our vibrations get so high. So we are just like, an empty vessel. Whatever we are pouring in, we are filling ourselves with. We have the power to choose whatever we want to choose. So right morning is the right time to decide what you want to pour into your empty vessel.
Okay, I got it. Like, if you decide in the morning, you start your day with a positive intervention, intention, that you're telling your mind that it's gonna be a wonderful day. But as the day starts and the times are so challenging, everybody is at home. You think you can't go out. You don't step out. All those opportunities which could be positive, but you start taking them negative because they're newer for us. So there's automatically a stress on your mind. You are always a bit of stressed. How to cope with these stressful times? Like, once the day begins, how to cope up with the stress?
Very important is the acceptance, you know. the acceptance of the fact that this is a time like this, and I have to program myself according to the need of an hour. The most important thing is we are not able to accept the fact that this has happened, this sudden uncertainty has come up. So when we acceptance is the key to inner peace. The acceptance and non-acceptance of something or someone determines the quality of our emotions. So it is the non-acceptance of what is happening in my life is getting me more to stress, more to anxiety.
Yeah.
I just want to share an example. So whenever we encounter uncertainty, like COVID, I am not able to handle it and I am not able to accept it, and this is generating fear in us. When I encounter uncertainty and I am sure how I'm going to handle it, and I'm able to accept it, even if I don't know how to handle it, I'm accepting the fact that this is there. I am able to find a solution to move forward with the given circumstances. So it is the quality of my responses, my acceptance and non-acceptance of the situation, which is determining my emotions.
Yeah.
And I really want to share this, that this is the time we are all blessed with an opportunity to make the most of this time. Maybe it's making money from home. Instead of thinking that our offices are shut down, what I do, one can think this is an opportunity for me to make money from home. Thanks to the internet, to the technology that we are having this conversation today. Life
Yes.
is so much easy. We are lucky we can communicate with each other, our loved ones, we can see each other. Imagine 100 years back, when a situation of plague or such uncertainty used to come, people didn't have any opportunity to connect.
Yeah.
So this is the time to do all those things which people said they don't have time for. So I would really tell people to focus their attention from getting frustrated, irritated, and I'm stuck, to I can do the best for myself. There is so many opportunities when you change your mindset and do something what you've been really wanting to do. Maybe it's getting a course for yourself on a YouTube or an online, meditating, doing your exercise sessions. There is so much, or maybe taking a baking lesson.
Yeah.
This is an opportunity to create something, to choose something, to connect with yourself, to connect with your purpose, to recharge yourself, to realign yourself, to be your best version, and to come out a brand new you.
So, on that note, like to become a brand new you have to set your goals, achieve your goals.
Yes.
So, we every day it's easier to motivate ourselves. Okay, today we are gonna be a super cook, or we are gonna be doing this, get fit, or be productive in terms of work goals. Maybe start something from home. But how to achieve your goals? Like, how do we increase our productivity, and how do we make them happen faster? Like, we can motivate ourselves, but how to turn them into reality? How can we achieve them faster?
So this is a very, very good question, Mahima, and I would really share what I practice for myself and with my clients, and which have really got them into the next level of what they desire. It
Yeah.
is very important to set an intention.
Okay.
First of all, very important to understand, what do I want?
Yeah.
What do I want for myself? So intention is the key. The first thing is to have an intention. And then we need to program our mind for an intention. So our brain really responds to images. So whatever your intention is, maybe it's creating a maybe an ideal body weight for yourself, or having a fitness routine for yourself. So I would really request you to have an image where you can look at it, or an affirmation in a form of image where it says, I am fit, or I am doing my workout. very, very important. So that creative image is very important because it helps the brain to register it. So
Okay, so
whatever your, yes, so it could be in a form of a image, or it could be the object. Maybe you can keep your weights in one of the rooms where you are always going to and fro, so that whenever you are passing by, you remember that you have to exercise to be fit. So number one, it gives a reminder to your brain
yeah.
that you have to do it. Number two, very important, to create a positive emotion. Nothing works under pressure. Your creativity gets zero under pressure. To have a positive emotion, to be connected with your intention, gives us super tremendous power.
Okay.
So just get into that emotion. How would you be feeling when you're exercising? When you are achieving what you desire,
So it
what
should
would
be
be the feeling?
passion driven, desire driven,
Yes,
positively motivated, and not
yes,
I have to achieve it. I do not in a like a rat race, or not demoted by negative emotions.
exactly. Not criticizing yourself
Yeah.
for missing your workout in a day. So very, very important. The positive emotion leads to a great connection
Okay.
to achieve your intention.
Yeah.
And very important. Do you know what is manifestation? It's intention plus action. So that is what I'm telling you. Create an intention and then be into action of how what you are doing with the feeling. And the third important thing is repetition. Keep reminding yourself with a positive self-talk.
Yeah.
Put on slip on. What I do is I put on the slip tags, to the places where I'm visible. Maybe the bathroom mirror, maybe on my bedside back, for my thing to remember that what I have to do. So that helps. And one very important thing which I do with my clients is a vision board.
Okay.
That is a beautiful concept if you have to achieve your goals. It's 100% sure shot thing which I have been practicing, and it has changed my life. And every year I create my vision board
Okay. So
for the
what
entire
is
year.
vision board? Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, so vision board is again, either you want to do it digitally or on a chart paper,
Okay.
putting pictures of what you want to achieve in different aspects of your life. Maybe it's relationships, maybe it's your work goal, your personal life, your health goals, your spiritual goals, whatever it is, even to the simplest form, to the courses you have to do. I put it there. And I
Okay.
have been achieving it every second. It's been so miraculous for me. Even to the holidays, to the home you desire, whatever you desire, your intention with the positive emotion, it is 100% doable.
Yeah, I think it says, like it said, it's not, it doesn't take any cost to just think bigger dreams and to, but we restrict ourselves to even think for
Yes,
something big. And we always think, oh, this is never gonna happen. Let's just not even think about it.
exactly.
That's a wrong thing. We should
Yes,
realize the impossible and it will happen.
exactly. The only limit to our desired life is we, your own self.
Yeah.
And that is what is, as a coach, I help people to break those limits and achieve their best.
Okay. So this is one. So when do this is a something that a personal question is, when do people realize, because since something it's something new, you're getting trained by a life coach. When do people realize that they should seek a life coach, or when is it where I mean, when do people can actually come up to you or a life coach and say, please, guide me the way through it? How does this whole thing happen when the clients come to you? Or
So honestly, when that's what I said, it is just like your self-reflection, your connection with yourself.
okay,
When it is awakened, then you realize that I'm seeking something more in life. With my regular monotonous life, I'm stuck. That is the right way to assess that I need more guidance in my life.
Okay.
It could be anything. It could be, we are not, the whole part is that we are not in touch with ourselves, with the current scenario.
Yeah.
We have lost the touch in us with ourselves, and
Yeah.
we don't know how we feel, how we think. We sleep every night and we get up with the same thoughts every morning.
Yes. Yes.
So there
It's
is
a
a lot.
cycle that we all get entangled in,
Exactly. So there is not just one aspect. So being a life coach is the holistic development to
Okay.
you, to an extent of managing your emotions,
Yeah.
which I feel this has to be a subject in the schools. And I've been working with a lot of schools, because wherever or whatever we do in life, the first and foremost thing is to learn to manage yourself
Yes. Yes.
on all aspects. If we can't manage ourselves, we can't manage anyone.
I have seen you once taking a session for moms of toddlers, and you were talking about emotional health. So this was a very interesting perspective to me, because I was a mom of a toddler, and by chance in the school I saw you giving a session. So that is something really interesting. How emotional health is so important even for babies and toddlers, and how can they be so vulnerable to it? So can you also elaborate a little bit on that?
Yes, totally, Mahima. The truth is that you cannot teach your children. Your children are only picking up what they are seeing.
Yeah.
So, how are you responding to situations in your daily life? Are you reacting the way you are talking to everyone in the house, the way you're talking to yourself, the reactions, or language is not only by words, it's your body language also. So whatever you are giving out to kids, they are taking it as a yes or a no. This is acceptable, this is not acceptable. And as a result, they are making their own bubble.
Yeah.
Instead of exploring themselves that, how I have to be, they are going with our reactions. So
Yeah.
we need to be very, very mindful of how we are interacting with our toddlers
Yeah. Maybe
or
small
anybody.
baby.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when we are naturally responding to every situation, then we don't have to think. And that is what our kids will learn. If we are panicking to the moment of even reaching a school meeting, that's what our kids are learning, that mom is late and she panics. And that is the pattern which your child is going to carry.
Oh my God. Yeah. So these are such
It is,
small things.
yes, they are very small things, but nobody even thinks, but that's the truth. So it's very important not to, always talk to your toddlers or anybody in a language which is more uplifting, even to yourself. So when you are critical of, maybe skipping your gym, or you are in a complaining mode that I ate so much, this is naturally what your child is going to pick up.
Yeah.
After all, you have also picked up from somewhere. It could be friends, it could be anybody. So that subconsciously registers in our mind.
Yes. Yes. So even the language that we speak to us, so that also matters. So talking about emotions, like emotional health we were discussing, I really want to get to this point that we have to handle relationships also around us, and emotions are very much related to your relationships around you. So
Yes.
now in these again challenging times, when you have all the family members at home, and sometimes you think husband is not living up to your expectation, kids are being stubborn, and nobody is cooperative enough to help her in household, things keep going and your relationships are further ruining. So how do you manage your relationships? So that I wanted to know.
So I'll be very honest in this, Mahima. This is a very, very common question which a lot of people are asking. But the reality is, as we focus our energy on what is not going right, we create a spiral of negative energy around us. And when we have that emotion, we tend to respond to that negativity to the external world and see only negatives what are around us, and we create more of it.
Yeah.
So when we are surrounded with these challenging times, there are a lot of things which are going well in our life also. How about we shift our focus on what is working in our life from what is not working in our life, and even deliberately try to pick up those things. It will really help our life, you know. So whatever I'm giving out, I'm getting back. If I'm giving out frustration, anger, and irritation, I will only get back the same. On the other hand, if I'm trying to be in gratitude, love, and compassion and understanding, I will receive this same. If I am critical and judgmental about people around me, what do you think is going to come back to you?
Yeah. Very true. True.
And it is very, very
It's very
important that
easy
because we are
to criticize all the time. You are not this, you are not that, you're not doing this right. It's very easy to, but there is difference of opinion. How do you not criticize? How to avoid criticizing?
so yes, you're so right. There is difference of opinion, and that's the truth. We all individuals are different. We all have different perspective to it. I would give you an example. Even two kids born of the same mother are different,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yeah.
So that is even our own fingers. There are 10 fingers. They are all different with a different fingerprint. But collectively is what it is, you know. So we need people around us. We cannot live without people, as human is a social animal. So the best thing is not to try changing people around you.
Okay. So just again,
That,
don't try to change them.
yes, totally. That is the number one thing, because if we keep thinking only if the person changes himself or their behavior or herself, everything will be better and easier. These are the changes we expect from the other person with good intentions, but we spend so much energy and it is consuming the whole day. We are thinking, Kash ye badal jaye. If he changes or if she changes her behavior, our life would be much better. But the moment we are doing it, you know, it is just like giving the remote control in someone else's hand. You are telling that if the other person is talking, you are creating an emotion of happiness. But if the other person is rude to you, so who has the remote control? Your remote control.
People around us. Yeah.
People around us. You are giving away your power by only reacting and feeling what the people around us wants to feel you. So you have the power. That person had the power to show his reaction or her reaction, but you have the power to show what you want for yourself.
So
It
yeah.
is very important. Yeah.
So you are saying, all you're saying is it's not dependent on the situation or outer self, what we feel inside. So I mean,
Yeah.
you can handle your own relationships if you accept them and you don't try to change them, and you have the remote control in your hand. So what?
Exactly.
Yeah. So how do you
So,
implement that? Like in a normal daily routine, how do you implement the change of situation? How do you tell yourself, okay, this is all external, I'm not getting calm. So like this, you
right.
tell,
Yes, exactly the way you said, you know,
oh,
because I realize that my mental peace is in my hand.
yeah,
If I'm getting affected by what anyone else is telling me, then I mean, this is why people are getting depressed, they are getting anxious. You have to understand everybody has a different perspective. But you know, we have so much of our egos that even if the other person has a different idea or they are not agreeing with our idea, we are like, you never agree to me. This is the way we talk. isn't it? But in that moment, we are only shutting up the doors for the communication.
Yeah.
So another way you can imply is to communicate. We don't want to go there. We are just, I think language is the tool which makes or breaks the relationship. I
Yes,
truly feel that.
completely agree. I think my husband keeps telling nothing is right or wrong. It's the way that you say that matters.
Exactly. That's true. Maybe what is wrong for you would be right for the other person.
So
We
subjective.
have to, it's very subjective, and everybody has we are the only thinkers in our mind, you know. So I have to decide if someone is not agreeing with me, how I have to take it or how I have to respond.
Yes. Yes. So, what are like coming in the end? What are the most important tools or practices that you can tell us to distress, which can, I mean, relieve ourselves of stress? What is the takeaway message you can say? What are the tools and practices that we take from you after this session and we implement those and try it? Huh.
So number one, I just explained that start your day with a positive intention. Very, very important.
Yeah.
Number two, acceptance. Acceptance of yourself, acceptance of others around you, acceptance of the situation.
Okay.
Number three, don't try to change people around you.
Okay.
Number four, consciously focus your energy on what is good in your life.
Yeah.
Because it is a game changer. When we do that, and there are a lot of ways you can do, you can start writing a gratitude journal.
Okay.
Gratitude is an antidote to anxiety. It is an antidote to overthinking. You consciously, when you write gratitude journal, it helps you change your focus. Our human mind is so wired, always looking for things which are negative.
Yeah.
It's time to change it. We only created that way. Now it's time to unlearn what is not serving us and create a new way.
So,
And
sorry, yeah, please finish.
And the very important practice I would like to share is the self-care and self-love.
Okay.
The most important relationship you will ever have is with whom?
Your own self.
Yes, with our own self. When I don't take care of myself, and I cannot take care of anyone else, I can never pour on from an empty vessel. So fulfilling our days with responsibilities and roles for like a mother, father, brother, sister, we forget the touch with the most important person, that's us. So 10 minutes during a day, take a pause and connect with yourself and simply ask one question. How can I make you happy?
Okay, yourself.
And
I mean,
yes,
I've never.
very important. You've never done that. It would be lovely if you start doing that because I do it. Even if it says just sit back on a couch and have coffee. That is the moment to live, to be in that moment,
Yeah.
to be present to that moment. Trust me, it'll change your life. It'll really take a person out of frustration to more into a better energy because we are not in touch with ourselves is what is creating all these negative emotions around us.
Yeah.
And 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 also our self talk, a very very important tool. As you asked, our self talk is very important to uplift ourselves. The words which we use to talk to ourselves, if they are very energetic, creative, positive, it will increase our self worth, self confidence. And on the other hand, if we are using words like I'm silly, oh, I do mistakes all the time, I'm such a lazy bum, that is how we talk to many people, talk to themselves, and
Yes.
even that goes to their kids. So that is the energy which we create, even like saying, I'm sick of my life, Our words are creating that energy, and we are attracting more of that experience in our life.
So,
So when we,
yeah,
yeah.
sorry to interrupt. We have two questions. So, Karishma wants to ask that is feeling tired and exhausted all the day is a sign of depression, and how to cope up with postpartum depression?
So this is, feeling tired and exhausted is a real reason that your mind needs some rest. If your mind is indicating, your body is the greatest messenger you have. So it is indicating you that you really, really need to take care of your mind. Because our thoughts, our thinking is only creating to what we are feeling.
Yeah.
So when we are having thoughts which are not happy or not good enough, they are sucking our energy. So we
So,
really,
thoughts
really,
make you exhausted, make you exhausted.
yes. So yes, so it's the constant thought pattern. Whatever it is, maybe it's a postpartum depression of handling things, or maybe it's your body weight, or how to handle home, or whatever. There are many, many things. So you are just churning through your thoughts and accumulating negativity around you. So whatever your thoughts are, first foremost method to cut any kind of depression, anxiety, tell your mind, cancel, cut, delete. You are telling the thoughts 3 times that I am cutting you off.
Okay, if it's a negative thought, tell yourself cancel, cut, delete. Okay.
Yes. And second is to change that negative thought into a positive thought.
Okay.
So suppose if your negative thought is, oh my God, I have so much weight, I'm looking ugly. Tell yourself, I'm fit. I'm beautiful in my own way. Your that inner child inside you wants to listen to you. You want to uplift yourself. Only the criticism will always break you, but the positive talks will always uplift you. It will help you to go way further. When you start being positive, doors start opening from you. You will have the ways to go further, how to create good for yourself.
Another question we have is from Garima. She's saying, is insomnia is also a sign of depression?
So everything is not depression.
Yeah.
You have to understand it is your, your
And
habit.
I'm a mother, like now to a newborn, so I have a lot of insomnia. So of course it can be related to certain habits and your situations also.
Yeah. So depression is a very deeper term. Let's not go take everything to depression. Everything, whatever you are feeling, tired, exhausting, insomnia, is because of your daily habits. We are spending so much time on social media and Netflix, watching series, not sleeping on time. So it is very important to have a good, healthy routine to sleep. 7 to 8 hours sleep is a must for a person's mind to rest. Everybody has different hour requirement, but 6 hours for most of the people, it is there.
Yeah.
So you need to cut down your TV or a screen time at least an hour before you go to bed,
Yeah.
because these screens produce a light which reduces the hormone called melatonin. Melatonin helps in falling you asleep. So
Yes.
when you're spending too much of time on screen, which your body produces naturally, the screen time is taking it away. So
Yes.
it's the less melatonin in your body which is getting you insomnia.
Yes.
And number two is to deal with insomnia. It's the thoughts which are bothering you. Start journalizing. Whatever thoughts and emotions you have, write it down. It really helps you ease it down. Again, gratitude. Before sleeping, think of 3 to 4 things mentally, or write it down what you're grateful during the day. It could be spending time with your kid. It could be doing your exercise. It could be helping someone, uplifting someone, anything what you're grateful during the day. Start meditating. All these things happen, the depression, the anxiety, when you're not connected with yourself. You don't want to spend time with yourself and you're always running around to spend time with the most important person. Connect. This is the time to connect with yourself. Meditate every day for 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay.
And one of the affirmation which I use before I sleep is I sleep with ease and wake up with joy.
Okay.
So again, I'm training my mind, to
So,
get into that
yeah,
mood.
so we are talking about insomnia, and we're talking about, in the end, to finish our day off, not to watch screen, write a journal, gratitude journal. And what is the quick nighttime meditation that we can do? Can you help us with that? Like, how can we have a nighttime meditation? What do we do for self-talk? Or it's always meditating, we have to listen to the sounds of nature. Like, what is the easiest way to meditate? Like, for
So
beginners?
yeah, so the easiest, so this is comes in a combination. So as I said, write a gratitude journal. So slowly when you're writing, it's focusing your attention to the good,
Yeah.
being thankful. Secondly, a very wonderful technique is when you're feeling overexhausted, imagine your mind as a phone.
Okay.
What happens when you open a lot of apps over your phone? It gets stuck,
Yeah.
right? So that is what is happening to your mind.
So
So
just
imagine that, yeah, just one by one, close, connect with yourself. What is it right now? What is my thought? Okay, I have to do this work that is bothering me. Let's shut it off till morning. So, just go in that mode of shutting each and every thought and
okay.
close all the open apps in your
So that
mind.
focus on yourself. Self connection is the
Yes.
only aim.
And the biggest wonderful technique and the easiest is to connect with your breath.
Okay.
So I would really, if you want to practice, I can show you. You have to take a deep breath in with a hand on your stomach. So when I say breathe in, your diaphragm has to exhale, it has to expand. The
Okay.
stomach has to expand. So when you're breathing in the count of 4, expand. And when you're breathing out, it is getting in. So it's the easiest way to get to connect with yourself is your breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now breathe out. 1, 2, 3.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes. So that is the best way to connect with yourself is your breath.
So we focus on our breath movements and body movements.
Yes.
Okay.
And totally cut the negative talk. I can't sleep. Calling 10 friends and telling, oh my God, I can't sleep. The moment you're repeating this, you are telling the universe that you want more of it. Universe is like a genie. Whatever you're asking, it's giving. So it's
Yeah.
not understanding can't or can. It's only understanding that the emotion you're giving is that I can't sleep. That's it. So keep telling, I can sleep. I'm having a great sleep. So changing anything negative to positive is the key.
But does that actually manifest? Like, does that have you seen it getting implemented? Have you
Oh,
are
yes.
there instances that you have seen people turning from, because you tell yourself all positive, and then you see your husband lying down next to you, or your child, and you see everything is same, and you go back. But slowly and gradually, if you keep doing it, does the result come?
100%.
Okay.
100%. It is just a habit you have to break. Whining, complaining will get you more complaint in your life. You need to focus on, as I said, it's very important to focus on what you want, on not what you don't want. If you, for a minute, really reflect, what is the conversation? What is the language like? For example, if I have to reach somewhere, I will be saying, oh, I am late. That's how we talk, right? I'm
Yeah.
late for my office. But what do I want to do? I want to reach on time. It's
Yeah.
just the twist of the language. And when I say I am late, I get all the red lights. I get the traffic jam. As simple as that. So whenever I am
Yeah.
actually late somewhere, I say I'm reaching on time. And trust me, I do. If I'm sharing, I'm practicing to the core.
Nice. And I think the reverse opposite. And I keep telling my driver, we are getting late, and I get late so much. I,
Exactly.
yeah, I think
So
this
now
happens.
try the other way out and
I
see.
I would. So I think overall this session has told us the key points that we have with us are that small things can make a huge difference. The way you talk, your language, the way you treat yourself, self-love, the way you can accept others will handle your relationships, and the way you can get rid of stress is change your mind towards it, and it will not be stressful anymore. So I
Yes.
think, and start your mornings with a positive intervention. So I think these were the such a good, amazing tips that we can take with us, and I think we can go on long and long and discuss about all these things. We our viewers are already they are sharing that how informative the session was, and
Lovely.
and I think it can go so much to so many aspects, from kids to how can we desire things, and but this would go on. So I think we will rather end the session here. And Aman, you were great as usual, and people can connect to you, I think, post this session. If they have any personal questions, they can DM you. And such,
Definitely.
such an amazing session. Thank you so much, Aman, and we love to have you always with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mahima, and thank you, Model, for this wonderful session today. And thank you to all the viewers for sparing their time out. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. All right, Aman.
Thank you.
Take
Bye-bye.
care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, viewers.